if your ringer is on. Can you turn your ringer off? Mm-hmm. Everyone make sure their ringer is not on.
My ringer is never on. I don't even know why I even did that.
At it again.
Okay.
At it again.
Views from the friend zone. I'm trying to reach the end zone. You think I'm kinda sweet and you wanna be friends though? It's cool though. Just don't try to play me for no fool, yo. Views from the friend zone. I'm trying to reach the end zone. You think I'm kinda sweet and you wanna be friends though? It's cool though. Just don't try to play me for no fool, yo.
Yeah. Welcome to another edition of the Views from the Friend Zone podcast. We're back. Happy Sunday, y'all. You know, everybody. Hope you had a good weekend so far. It's like fall now. You know, like last weekend when the fall started, it was kind of like summer was still trying to show its face, but now it's hoodie weather. So I hope everybody out there.
That makes me sad.
And for some people, it's punk.
It just happens.
It's pumpkin latte season or pumpkin everything. For some people, that's a big deal. You know what I'm saying?
Disgusting.
No,
I hate everything pumpkin. So
and then the
pumpkin
Giants suck, so it's
don't
killing
talk
us.
about it.
You know, our guest is a huge Giants fan.
Don't talk
It's
about
killing
it.
us. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna further delay. I'm gonna have everybody introduce themselves, starting to my right.
It's your boy Cliff Brockman now.
Amanda, a.k.a. Greedy Gut.
And our special
Jacqueline
guest.
Ray.
Yes. So Jacqueline, tell us about yourself. Tell us what you got going on and things like that.
Well, I'm just a girl from Brooklyn, and right now I'm doing a little bit of modeling, and, you know, as they say, I'm a little popular on, you know, social networks and everything.
Yeah.
But right now I'm just doing, like, freestyle stuff, you know, and also a little acting as well.
Okay.
You know, being in skits, videos.
Yeah.
And right now, next year I'll be in a movie or whatnot.
Nice. Congratulations. That's what's up.
Nice.
That's what's up.
Nice.
Yeah.
But
good
right
deal.
now, just working as a teacher,
Yes.
you know, in school, whatever. And I'm planning
I've
on
never had a
moving.
teacher that looked like Jacqueline. I mean, I got good grades. I probably would have got better grades if I had a teacher that looked like
Old teachers. Yeah, I have a few too.
What age do you teach? You teach the youngins,
Pre-K,
right?
yeah.
Pre-K.
Little
Okay.
4 or 5 year olds.
Okay. So they probably don't know how fine their teacher is, right?
Right, exactly. They do.
But
They do.
kids are honest. Kids will tell you, like,
Yeah.
you're so pretty.
Yes.
I
get
bet you
analyzed,
Matt.
Or
So
they're always up under me, or they're just staring at me.
So let me ask you this, right? Because a lot of times, not to be stereotypical, but a lot of times, you know, moms drop their kids off and stuff like that.
Oh, I
Have you
a
ever
lot
had a
of dads
situation
now.
where the dad came one time,
dads,
and then now all of a sudden the dad is coming all the time?
It's crazy because
Because I would be like, yo, honey, I'm gonna drop him off. Go ahead, I got you.
Because other teachers say that, like, yo, he's only came like once in like 2 months, and now I see him every day.
Every-
like,
yeah.
what's going on? I ain't never seen him before, you know. So that does happen. Yeah.
So before we start the show, we got to talk about why are the Giants so bad?
God, you know,
Because of your quarterback.
not just the quarterback. The O-line has sucked for years. now.
That's
Yeah.
a fact.
The O-line, he has nothing to help him right there up front.
Yeah.
You know.
But now he's a statue.
And
he can't get out the way, and
Yeah,
then
he
He's a
plays
pocket
scared now. He
Yeah.
has no motivation whatsoever. So it's kind of hard to watch it because I'm a huge Giants fan.
Yeah.
And it kills me inside. I've been taking up for him for years. It's like right now you can't even say much anymore. It's like it's over. It's
Yeah, I
done.
almost feel bad. Like, you know what? We gotta find a way to let him gracefully exit out. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like you said, he's playing scared. He looked like he's
Just
waiting for the hit every single time that he gets the ball, and you
Yeah.
can't play that way in football. You
And
know?
not even that. It's like he's not focused. Like he does not see his wide receivers. There's plenty of times his wide receivers is open out there. He has a great support. He has 2 or maybe 3 huge wide receivers out there that he can throw the ball to. The running game sucks. because of the O-line.
Yeah,
You know.
but Saquon Barkley's been magical for a rookie, but traditionally the running game has.
He's gonna be.
I
the
wish
next
Sensei
Odell
was here because
Beckham.
he would be talking about this.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
other host that's not here right now, he loves the Giants.
So I'm not gonna take up the whole show about the Giants. It just hurts me, and I know you're a
hurts
big
me
Giants
too.
fan, so I
It
just had to
to the
get your
point
opinion
that
on it.
nobody better not talk about
Cowboys,
them around me.
yeah.
I will-
He's a
Such
Cowboys fan, so I can't even.
Yeah, I just asked him.
I can't even, you know what I mean?
They ain't even doing that good either.
Well, we better than y'all. So I'm gonna switch the order up of I had an order of how we would discuss topics, but I'm gonna start with the last topic first, just because of how hot button it was this week, right? And it's mental health in the Black community. Like this week was Mental Health Awareness Day. I forgot what day, if it was Wednesday or Tuesday, I forgot. But I really want to talk about the focus of mental health in our community because of how prevalent Kanye West has been in the media.
He's losing it.
And, in his mind, he's being a martyr, where it's just like he's sacrificing his popularity to help the Black community. But if you see how inconsistent he is with his thoughts, like he told Trump, like Trump got to be the freshest person ever, and we got to make sure our president is fresh. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, how is that even something you bring up part of your platform? He did mention some good things, but then he was just like, Democrats made Black people abuse welfare. And I'm just like,
I'm gonna be honest. I don't even I've seen it in the Shade Room, and I don't even watch.
it's
that
tough.
Shit.
It's so
I
tough
just-
to watch the full
Yeah,
rant.
I don't watch it, so I don't even. I actually don't
Because
even know what he said.
he starts embarrassing me, and I'm like, I can't watch it. I'm one of those people, like, when we used to watch shows, like how when Steve Urkel would play himself for Laura,
Yeah.
I couldn't watch it. I would have to turn the channel
Oh,
because
you
it
felt that way
embarrassed
about
me.
that?
It embarrassed me. I hate when someone does that to themselves, and I
Yeah.
feel like Kanye, all his rants are like that.
Yeah.
So anyway, I just want to discuss mental health in the Black community, and I feel like sometimes with our celebrities or people suffering from mental health, even when Tyrese was suffering from mental health, we kind of don't take it serious when people are suffering from mental health. We kind of just laugh at them in the Black community, or we ourselves, when we're going through something tough, we don't necessarily seek help. We always say, "I'm gonna pray on it." I'm gonna go to church, which is not bad, but sometimes we need that professional help. So the first question is, why do you feel like we struggle with getting help in the Black community when we suffer? Ladies first. I don't know which one of you guys.
Let guess go first.
Yeah.
At this day and age, I would say a lot has to do with just bullying. Like, a lot of kids and people are being bullied, and it just eats inside them. It just break them down and stuff. So, and then they're like, it's a lot of people that's not actually, they don't have that figure in their life to motivate them, to tell them, you're doing all right. This is what you do. Da, da, da. They don't have that. They don't have a support system with them. So it's like people are just losing their minds. Like you say, Kanye right now. I think a lot of it is depression also.
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot of depression.
And I think we feel like it's so uncool to get professional help.
Yeah, and that's another reason. People are so scared, or not just scared, but they have this pride of them. They won't ask for help.
Yeah, like once you have the stigma
Yeah.
of I go to see a psychologist or a psychiatrist, people just look at you like, what's wrong with you? But like, yo, if you keep things bottled up, it makes you spaz out or not make right decisions.
Yeah,
What
I
do you
have a
think?
question to ask you though. Being that you teach pre-K, do you see bullying happening right there
Yeah.
at that age?
Yeah.
Okay.
It does happen in school. Kids will
That
be
young.
Yeah, very young. It also has to do with what the parents allows also
Yeah.
at home. If they see their parent do, because kids are like an imitation of you. What they see other people do or their parents, they will mock it.
And that becomes normal for them, right? Like some kids see their father abuse their mother, and they come into school and feel like that's okay because I see it at home.
Yeah.
What do you think? Why do you feel we struggle to get help, the help that we need, especially when it comes to mental health?
Because I think a lot of the times, because I work in the psych ward, and I think a lot of the time is we don't understand it, right? Like we don't have the knowledge of what is going on. So sometimes, It all depends too. Sometimes when you come from single parent homes and stuff, you don't understand that the reason why you're going through these things because you didn't have your father or mother there. So it starts at very young, and then when you get to the age of 21 and older, you're like, I'm not going to see a psychiatrist. I'm not going to get help because now you feel like you know all the answers. What, you trying to diagnose me? Like, you know what I mean? Because you could generally see friends that you hang out with every day to day, and I see it all the time, and you think they're happy because they're making good money, but they're going through a lot on the table, and they don't want to discuss it because it seems like it's shameful because it's like, oh, I do need to see this person. Why? Oh, first thing is, oh, because we work in this. You trying to diagnose me? Like, it's always it's one of the things that
And we
people
get
are shameful
so
for.
offended.
Yeah,
we get so
do.
offended.
Yeah,
Like, someone has, like, as an adult now, I have friends who see, psychologists and psychiatrists and stuff. And to me, I always feel like I don't think there's something wrong with them. I think they're brave, right? Because it's brave to say, you know what, I have a problem. I don't know all the answers. I don't know how to necessarily get my mind focused on these things, so let me seek out help. I feel a lot of times also in our communities, money's tight, right? So it's just like if you're having to pay
to see one. A lot of
if it's
insurance
not,
is really cover
but
mental health.
if it's
though.
not covered in insurance, or you don't know the proper channels of using your insurance to see these people, kind of thing. A lot of our young boys are like active. So they just wind up medicating them, giving them HDAD kind of stuff, like that kind of things.
ADHD.
And they kind of put them in a bottle kind of thing, where it's just like the kids aren't really giving counseling; they're just giving medicine to sit down, not knowing there's underlying issues there.
That's true.
That's a fact.
And a lot of times also, grown folks who don't know the answers will tell the kids like, well, hush up, or he's just showing out for attention. He just wants attention, not really having conversations with kids like, what's bothering you,
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but
I
So,
agree.
so the next question on the topic is, how do we feel people with money? Why do we feel people with money will be okay and don't push them to get help, like Kanye or Cat Williams? Cat Williams is another person.
What's going on with him? Because I don't even know that either. I'm out of the loop
Because
on this shit.
everyone's just saying it's
I am, 'cause-
everyone's just saying it's drugs, right? Oh, he's on drugs and stuff like that. But a lot of the things that he's saying and doing is also a cry for help.
What is Cat Williams doing? I don't know.
Right.
Well,
I
Somebody
really don't
explain.
even follow.
Oh, you don't know? Yeah, I
I
don't know.
really don't
Cat
know.
Williams get arrested every other week.
Oh, he still does? I
Yes,
thought this
he
was like
still
a
gets
thing that
arrested
happened a
every
few
other
years
week.
ago.
He runs into situations where it's just like, if he doesn't like the way that people interact with him,
Yeah.
he assaults people. He assaults people at Dollar Tree. He assaults other comedians. He assaults women and stuff like that.
he's
crazy.
reckless.
And you know what? People always say, well, you know what? Part of his genius is being crazy, kind of thing. We brush it off, like Kanye.
Let me ask you about Kanye. Do
Yeah.
you think that this is a mental health thing, or do you guys think
It
that
is
he
a
has
mental
a
health.
motive, like
No,
an album
because
is coming out or
he is
something like
bipolar,
that?
and he's like,
He was diagnosed with bipolar.
and
Okay.
he
At
takes
the
his
same
meds, and then he
time-
doesn't take his meds.
At the same time, Kanye haven't been doing this. He's been doing this ever since his mom passed.
Yes.
That man has gone down.
But he never had closure. And then when you're such in the limelight,
Mm-hmm.
right? When you're in the limelight, people in the limelight can't take off the way that we might fall back.
They can't take
normal
off at
people
all.
like us. We
Pressure.
probably don't hang out as much and stuff like that. But when you're married, did he marry Kim Kardashian before his mom passed or
That
after?
was after.
Yeah,
That was
his
after,
mom-
right?
His mom
So-
passed a long time ago before that.
Yeah, so it's like this. When you're in the limelight, right, you have seasons. You can't be a musician that fall back for a long time to get right.
Yeah.
Because then the wave passes you.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of
But
times.
if you got it, you got it. The wave passed a lot of people, like Jay-Z, but he has it.
And then another thing is, right after that, Kanye moved his circle and got a lot of yes people around him. Which he kind of said that he wanted to change, but he still hasn't changed. Because a lot of people, a lot of people around him are afraid to tell Kanye, like, yo, what you're doing don't make no sense. You know what I'm
What do
saying?
you think Kim is telling him?
Kim is all about...
Because she's his
all
wife,
about-
so you would think that, like,
But she's all about the brand and keeping it moving and staying relevant, kind of thing. Like Kim struggles herself with Kylie surpassing her now with kind of thing, because Kim Kim is older. Kim has had a couple of kids. Kim still looks good, but she doesn't get the attention like Kylie gets now. So now she does certain things to like still tries to stay relevant. And with Kanye, she met Kanye as this creative genius kind of stuff like that. Like no one's gonna check Kanye. You know what I'm saying? And that's the problem. And Kanye really
as his wife. I don't know what goes on behind closed doors.
Oh yeah, we never do.
My thing is, I think as his wife, she's supposed to be the one checking him. Like she's supposed to be the one to be like, "Hey babe, did you take your meds today?
Yeah.
Hey babe, stay away from the White House." Like what
Yeah.
I mean? Like that's how I feel.
But she
should
also
be.
she was at the White House before him, though.
Yeah.
She also
Like Kim does some dope things too. She's got a grandmother who had a drug
I've seen
charge
that.
free, and
Right.
she fights and stuff. But I feel like
I think it was all for publicity, though.
yeah,
She don't
it's
really
tough, right?
need
Because
it.
everything she does, she
she
operates so much for attention. Even good
Yeah,
deeds
she's
get
a
not
true
taken
attention whore.
serious
Seriously, yeah.
because of the fact that people just like, oh, you're just doing it for attention.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's tough, right? Because I pray this doesn't happen, but I feel like it's not till Kanye, God forbid, has like a overdose or something crazy drastic happens that people are really going to step in and try to provide him help. For now, it's just like, you know what? He's crazy, but people are laughing at him.
Yeah.
Because to me, don't get it twisted. I don't support a lot of the crazy stuff Kanye's saying, but I feel like, we need to realize, like, this guy, he's never had closure from losing his mom the way that he lost his mom, right? And his relationship with his father's kind of scared. And we just think because someone is dope in their field that they're Superman. They're not, Yeah. And then when he says things, when he has these honest moments and stuff like that, like, oh, it bothered me that people always talking bad about my wife and stuff like that. But like, you marrying Kim Kardashian, you kind of know what you got in. Like, he was mad at Drake, right, for making the song Kiki, Do You Love Me?
That probably
Because
was not about her.
but Kim Kardashian's nickname is Kiki.
A lot of Kikis.
Think about it. I was thinking to myself, there's Kiki Wyatt, there's Kiki Palmer. How many people in the hood name is Kiki? But Kanye is in a place where he thinks the world is against him.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, think about it. Drake, don't get it twisted. Drake has ways about him and stuff like that. But him and Drake.
Talk about Drake's ways.
Yeah,
okay?
no, but Drake has been trying to be cool with him for such a long time. Why? He was just like, people started thinking the song was about his wife. And since Drake didn't make a post saying, no, this song's not about Kim Kardashian, he's trying to confirm what other people are saying. Like, think about that kind of thinking that he had. And I just say, like, and Jay-Z has tried to big brother Kanye, and Kanye would be like, I'm going to change. And then the next day, Kanye would do something that contradicts exactly what they had a discussion for.
I've seen something on one of those on Instagram when they were like how Kim K, Jay-Z and Beyonce officially cut ties with Kim K and Kanye. Is that true? Does anybody know? I mean, I really don't care, but I mean,
Jay-Z and Beyonce didn't go to the wedding.
Yes, I know that.
They said it was a conflict, but like,
you're gonna make your boy's wedding.
Yeah, when you were your own boss like that, like, even if you have a show and stuff like that, you can move a show and things like
absolutely.
that,
Yeah.
So it's kind of stuff like that, and they've tried to like, come back together, and then Kanye would flip out and say certain things, and it's just tough when someone feels that strongly about what. In
Jay-Z's mind, he's not the old Kanye. He's a total different Kanye.
Yeah.
And just think about it. We went from Kanye saying George Bush doesn't care about black people to him just kissing Donald Trump's ass.
Yeah, he's kissing his ass.
For acceptance from people who he wants this acceptance for will never truly accept Kanye.
Absolutely not.
Kanye's just a mean to an end. Kanye just for some of them to say,
I'm
look,
sure Trump
we
likes
have
it.
a
It's
black
bringing
person that
attention.
supports us. You know?
Mm-hmm. It's bringing attention to the White House, and I know Trump loves that part of it all.
He's going about it the wrong way too.
Yeah, and it's just like he's talking about how Chicago needs this, Chicago needs that, but he's not necessarily working with the people on the grounds. Kanye chooses who he wants to work with. Not the people who's like still on the ground. Like this is my thing. Like Chance the Rapper. Chance the Rapper does a lot
Yeah, he
for
does.
Chicago with education and things like
He
that.
just donated $1 million.
And Chance has a big respect for Kanye. But instead of working with Chance in the ways that'll be, not the right way, but ways that, that's going to affect the people, he's like, nah, he has to do it more in a grandstanding way, where it's just like everybody will accept me. So my last question on this topic is, how have you dealt with mental health in your own personal life?
Well, for me, if I feel a certain way at a certain for a certain amount of time, this sounds really bad, but I'll just isolate myself from people until I get my life together. I get my mind right. I've never seen anyone,
Yeah.
So for me,
I've never
personally,
seen
I'll just
someone
do
on
that.
a individual level.
Yeah.
I've seen a marriage counselor for a couple of months, like, years ago in my marriage, to just kind of help with the communication. But
Did it help? Like, you just doing that alone, did that help that situation? Like, did you feel like it helped?
I don't think it necessarily 100% helped immediately, but I felt it allowed us to say things
That you couldn't tell each
freely,
other?
that without feeling judged immediately,
Yeah.
say certain things, and then to have what's supposed to be considered a impartial party listening and providing. I felt it gave us groundwork. Maybe we should have stuck with it longer or not, but we kind of stopped after a couple of months. I do say it's valuable, but at the same time, as far as my personal health, sometimes I question, right? Because I get down as far as like not achieving certain things that I wanted to, and like,
Right.
not having certain things. Then I take a step back and be like, yo, God has given me opportunity to still be alive and still, try to achieve these things. So
Right.
I don't partake in a pity party, right? I kind of say, like, you know what God blessed Jackie with is for Jackie. What God
Right.
blessed Amanda with is Amanda. And I take that step back. But I know sometimes, sometimes we do need outside help. And I feel like I want to make it okay for anyone who's listening, like, yo,
It's
be okay to get outside help. I'm blessed with siblings, right? A lot of people don't have. I'm blessed with productive siblings. Clifford, my older brother, my older sister, who have certain successes and they are doing certain things, and I'm not afraid to be vulnerable in front of them and for them to give me advice. I feel a lot of times we're afraid to be vulnerable in front of people.
Sometimes I feel like it's better to talk to a stranger that doesn't know you, doesn't know everything about you. They can give you better advice. Because if you talk to someone, not saying that you talking to your
Yeah.
brother's wrong. I'm just saying
Yeah.
what I've heard from other people, even me sometimes, like just talking to someone that you don't know.
And seeing
Sometimes
what
you
they
spit
going
it all
through.
out like, this is what happened, blah, 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 blah. But then other people do feel like, she doesn't know me. Why am I going to a therapist for?
Yeah.
Because I've had friends like that too. I'm like, maybe you should see somebody. And
Yeah.
that's what they would say. They'll be like, oh, well, I don't know her. I don't want to just talk to a stranger.
Yeah.
So, I think it's 50-50. And the reason why people don't,
I was never an open person to, talk to somebody about what I'm going through.
Mhm.
I've always kept things in. Even my mom, she passed away.
Sorry.
Even her, she would tell people, well, I can never get anything out of Jackie. She would never tell me anything. I wouldn't even know if she having a good day or a bad day because I always kept it in, As growing up, that was just me, the quiet person. And as I got older, I began to learn that it's okay to talk to somebody. Maybe they'll understand. Maybe they can help you. You don't know what anybody else is going through. Maybe y'all have the same thing that, going on with each other. So it's like, now I'm opening up more, speaking about it.
Does that make you feel good?
And it makes me feel good,
Yeah.
And when somebody will tell me they're, talk to me about their issues or their problems, you'll be like, well, then maybe where the position I'm in now, right now, maybe it isn't that bad.
Yeah.
Hearing someone else's story.
And I think I've been blessed to be the kind of person that people.
That's another thing. I write things down, the good and the bad.
Yeah.
If the good outweighs the bad, it gives you something to smile about.
Yeah.
Like, wow, I am blessed.
Yeah, and that's another thing. We have to realize that, you're not the only person going through these kind of issues. So don't be afraid If you can't share with your immediate circle, please, like you said, find a stranger, find a person. We prefer if you find a professional help. I just want us to know that there's no stigma into getting help, because we all need that help. You'll find someone who's just like, man, this person in your eyes is perfect. They have everything. They need help too. There's been a movement lately talking about check on your strong friend, because your strong friend needs help too. And I feel like, that doesn't just really apply to your strong friend. I feel like we have to make better efforts for people to realize, like, yo, are you okay?
Right.
If anyone listening takes anything away from it, like, check on your peoples around you, right? And also kids as well, because a lot of times
School pressure.
we think kids,
Yeah, we think they're fine.
we kids are going through a weird stage, and we don't ask them why.
That's true.
So I always tell my siblings with kids, like, yo, find out what's bothering them. Take a step away from being a disciplinarian and just find out, like, what's going on with them. What are their insecurities? What are their fears? Reassure them that everything's going to be okay. Because a lot of times we feel like the kids just wants attention and they're going to get over it.
Yeah.
Till we find out, like, something bad happens, that they're being bullied or something like that, So I just feel like in our community, we need to let everyone know, like, yo, it's okay to go through things and it's okay to get help. We have to stop making it seem like that person's a weirdo or that person's strange, right? Because we all need that kind of help. We all need a way to find our voice. That's the biggest thing. A lot of times we don't find a way to, like, express ourselves, and then we bottle things in, It's but so long you can let that happen, So we're going to move on to our next topic. Our next topic is why I had to walk away, right? And a lot of times in relationships, we hang on to relationships longer than we could till we hit our breaking point. So I want to, just discuss some of the relationships that you had and what was that point that made you walk away, The first question is, have you ever had a relationship you stayed in longer than you should have, and why?
I think we should start with Cliff.
Okay.
Cliff's been quiet for the last 5 minutes.
So, Cliff, have you ever had a relationship?
I just been taking it in.
Yeah, have you ever had a
sometimes good to
relationship
listen.
that you stayed in
Yeah,
longer
true.
than you should have, and why?
I mean, before my wife, I didn't have too many relationships.
Yeah.
I was a savage. I
Yeah.
was more, I'm not gonna lie, I was more like, okay, we doing this and I'm moving to the next. But I think everybody has stayed in a relationship more than, because it's comfortability, right? You get it to a point where you get comfortable with the person and you don't really want to go out there and figure out somebody new. So sometimes you tolerate him or he or she's bullshit, right? So you be like, oh, you know what, I could tolerate this, because starting over is so hard. So yeah, everybody has went to that point. But even my early stage days in college, where I had a female where, like, she was a really good girl, but I was still in my stage where I was like,
Whoring.
I was still in my group. Yeah, I was still out there. And then when I finally was like, you know what, I should, try to get it together, she just wasn't on that way. But I can respect it, right? So I think we all do it because of accountability and stepping outside of the box.
What about you, ladies? Have you had a relationship that you stayed longer than you should have?
With my son's father.
Okay.
It was a 10-year relationship.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. We were supposed to get married. He was actually my second boyfriend, you know, and I got with him during, I think I was like at least 19 or 20 years old from there on. And then we had a child together. The reason why I really, really stayed in that 10-year relationship, because for my son, I didn't want, I wanted my son to have both his parents, because I've seen a lot of it, like kids that don't have both of their parents, a lot of single homes or whatever. And I just wanted my son to be happy, because one day, and me and my son's father had broke up. It was one day that my son came to me. He was like, and he just started crying. He was just sad. He was like, Ma, it's my fault you and my dad split up. And I felt bad. I was like, if only he knew it's not his fault. Like, I couldn't explain to him it's because of his father, but at that time I was like, no, baby, it's not your fault.
Do you think his father could have put that idea in his head, or he just came, independently came up with that?
Men do what they want to do, you know? So I can't explain his father's action or whatever. you know, but I can only tell him what I know.
Okay.
And it was very hard for me to get out that relationship because I was in love.
Okay.
And we had a child together.
Yeah.
But at some point, you just gotta be like, you know, this is it. I need to move on. Ain't nothing. If you don't see a future with that person, it's no reason for you to stay in that relationship.
Yeah. I've been in situations where I wouldn't call it a relationship, but I kind of kept chasing after girls longer than I should have because, you know, I don't want to say I'm a sucker, but I'm just like, you know, if I find out that you've been through some stuff and then I like you, I'm going to try to see if I can help you through things. Sometimes at the detriment of my own personal interests. But I'm like a natural protector kind of person. So if I find out like you've been, you know, let's say, you know, harmed in a way and stuff like that, I'm always going to want to protect you. And sometimes, you know, you trying to be someone's protector, you kind of not taking into consideration your own personal feelings, right? So, you know, it was back and forth game playing, and then the person, I kind of talk about this story in the past, but the person was just like, you know, oh, I like you, but I'm not ready to be serious, maybe in the future kind of thing. And I had to tell myself, like, you know, who am I going to be in the future that I wasn't to that person now? So that was the way that I was able to, like, walk away. Sensei in the building.
Speed. What's up, people?
Yeah.
I'm free.
Yeah.
Uncle Sam had me. That's why I'm late.
Yeah, we were,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. So, you
Yes,
know,
ice.
Jackie, this is Sensei. He's the fourth member of the guest.
She said he has ice.
So you've had multiple relationships and stuff. So
that
the
many,
question
bro.
is, no, but that's not a negative thing. We just know you've had multiple relationships.
You are.
Living my life.
You are.
You are open shirt poppy, right? So the question is, have you ever had a relationship that you stayed in longer than you should have?
Look, he's pouring the alcohol to this one.
Nah, I get out pretty quickly.
Yeah,
if things
get
been
out.
working right.
What
But
person had a
have I?
relationship?
I would say yeah. I got married.
Okay.
And,
Do you think you stayed married longer than you should have?
I think so. I think I did.
You married kind of young though.
That's why, you know, I wasn't ready. So it was kind of doomed from the jump.
Yeah.
But you know, you realize it early on. You know what I mean? You spot those flags.
Yeah.
How long did you stay? Like when from that moment you
Legally,
realized.
legally it was like 7
Legally.
years. Nah, but really, we was together after we got married, just a little over 2 years.
Okay.
2 years. But I realized that, you know, early on, like there was too many. We wasn't as compatible as I thought we might be, and that plays into the fact of us both being too young.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
How old were you?
I got married at 23.
Yeah.
It's young, right? But you know, even it's messed up because even before we got married, I was doing it kind of for the wrong reasons. We had a daughter together, and
That's
she
another
said,
thing. I didn't want to do that.
she said, I moved upstate because that's where I got my employment and everything, and I was trying to set it up for us. You know what I mean? And she didn't say. Her mother said,
You
"Don't
guys
move
need to
in
get
with him until you
get married. Yeah.
And she listened to her mom, and that turned me off to her from the jump. I was like, okay. But then I still waited, and like a year and a half later, we ended up getting married. I wanted to be engaged for a while. We wasn't engaged as long. It was just a whole mess. You know?
Amanda, what about you? Have you ever had a relationship you stayed in longer than you should have?
The father of my kids.
Yeah. See, that's a recurring theme, right?
Common thing, you know, the kids. You gotta
To be
think
honest with
about
you,
the kids.
because I wanted to have children with my wife, because everyone that knows my backstory, I got married with my wife after a year. People like, that was too fast and stuff like that, but I wanted to, like, you know, start having children. It didn't happen. I don't say, oh, I got married, you know, for the wrong reasons.
Truth be told, because I take credit for that marriage. You know, I hooked him up.
Yeah.
But I was just trying to hook my boy up and say, hey, you
trying to
know,
play
go
Cupid
meet
right
somebody,
now.
you know, y'all do your thing for a little bit. This nigga called me and was like, yeah, we getting married. And then he went to Jamaica, so I wasn't even at the wedding.
Mom.
Still
Nobody
kinda
was at the
salty
wedding.
about that.
Friend.
Nobody was at the
Still
wedding,
kinda
though.
salty.
Your best
So
friend.
salty. I wasn't. I
You wasn't
didn't.
there either?
He called me to ask me to find his passport and stuff. I'm like,
No,
what you
not
doing?
passport, birth certificate.
Birth certificate. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I'm coming from school. He's telling me this. I mean, listen, God bless him. So, he did what he had to do. But, I mean, that's my older brother, so I'm always going to support him. But I wasn't thrilled about it.
So
but,
the next question on this topic is.
Yeah.
No, she said the child.
I didn't want to stay because of the kids, but I was thinking, all right, a little bit. I felt like I didn't want to have a broken home, but I didn't want to deal with the BS, so I stayed longer. There was BS that was going on about a year before I decided to. 2 years before I decided to chop it off.
So I'm gonna have everybody answer this question. Next question is, what was your breaking point? Because everybody's not in that relationship that they stay too long. So
my breaking point was, okay, a lot of women go through guys' phones, and I found some things out that pissed me off.
You find what you was looking for.
That's fine. I was looking for it, and that just that validated it right there, and I needed that. I don't want to stay in a situation, whatever's in the dark comes to light bullshit, because I could stay with somebody for 10 years, and the shit comes out to light 10 years from now. Like, no, I found out what I wanted to.
I always feel like this. You rock with someone for 10 years, you find out something that happened 5 years ago. You breaking up now?
I'm talking about what's going on now at the moment is the situation, and it was other things as well. I'm the glass half full, he's half empty, and constantly when you have someone so negative in your life just bringing you down, it'll start to bring you down
Opposites
too.
don't always
Attract.
match, right?
Yeah.
So Sensei, what was your breaking point?
I used to do some shit.
Yeah.
You should be asking her.
Yeah, pretty much. I admit it. Like, instead of properly dealing with the problems in the relationship, communicating them, figuring out if y'all need to just split or whatever, I take action, and my action is usually finding what I'm looking for, what I'm missing in somebody else.
You gotta go, right?
So once I did that, I connected with a chick off a wrong number. Like, why was married?
This dude.
What?
That's how you know it's lacking. Like, I found a bond with somebody calling me on the wrong number.
Yeah.
Because
He just,
we know Mike.
Yeah. So, what was your breaking point?
If anyone knows a Sagittarius, we hate liars with a passion. When I found out that he was cheating on me, I began to look through his, little laptop.
How dumb was he
Don't we
to
find
cheat?
things though?
See, hey, you know it's a tough thing, right? Because
That's just the way
you
it
always
goes.
think stupid things like, damn, she too fine to get cheated on. But everybody gets cheated on. Beyonce get cheated on and stuff like that. So what was his excuse? Did you call him out on it? What was his
I
excuse?
actually showed it to him, when I found the pictures and the videos on his laptop.
Videos?
Yeah,
That's
videos.
He had the BT uncut videos, chop style, chop style. No.
Those type of
Oh
videos.
my god!
That
You just showed it to him?
Yeah,
I
when
would've been fighting.
I was calm about it too. We sat on the bed and I showed it to him like, "What's this?" He smiled, he laughed, because he didn't think I was.
Because he
lying
was
out.
caught.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he couldn't say nothing after that. You just got caught, and then the lies. He told me, "Oh, I'm not doing this no more." I come and find out he was doing it for 4 years of our relationship, and he hit it. What was the breaking point with him is that I found out that the girl he cheated on me with, he made our son babysitter. She was babysitting.
Dudes be so
sorry.
sloppy and grimy.
I'm not that violent,
I'm
but I
like,
would
so you
have
had my son around this chick?
Yeah.
Like,
He was
and
always
it
like,
was
let me go
it was
pick
the
him
amount
up.
of
I'll go pick him up.
disrespect.
Yeah.
It was the amount of disrespect.
No, that's
just
high level
could not
disrespect.
do that.
Like I always tell people, like, there's got, I'm not one of those dudes who's just, straight up like, oh, cheating's bad. But I feel like you have to have some kind of, there got to be levels to it. There's got to be some kind of rules. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have this woman in a place that's around your kids, and that's foul.
That's too much.
Like my wife's friends.
Even I
would
wouldn't do that.
like my wife's friends, I would never. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'd rather get caught that I cheated with a random than my wife's friends or someone who was keen around my wife. You know what I'm saying? Because the levels of disrespect. Like, to me, it's just like if I find out my wife cheated, it's going to hurt me. If I find out my wife cheated with this dude that was always around that I said, yo, he's funny. And she like, nah, he's cool. And it was that dude, the level of disrespect hurts. So the last question on the topic is there something you could have done before walking away? And what did you learn from the situation? See, Clifford's a player, so he doesn't have much back
Yeah, I don't
information.
really.
So what
Maybe
about you?
if I could have, gave it up more, like had sex with him more, but it was a whole. I was turned
wow.
off. The thing is,
That was the problem in my marriage.
he became unattracted to me. He got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and it just got lazier and lazier and lazier, and I was just very turned off about it. So. When we would have sex, it's like, oh, hurry up, I was bored. I got bored real quick.
Were you ever tempted to cheat on him, or no? You loved him so
never,
much?
never. I was still faithful to him.
Women got that commitment that is amazing.
We
like,
do.
No.
That's true.
So it's a
how do you
question.
do that?
Is there anything you could have done
You have
before you walked
discussion
away?
with him about that?
And his reasons for cheating on me is because I was mean to him.
I get it.
I
get it.
about his weight, but I was.
Would you?
Like it
Body
was
shaming him?
not. I was. He joked. He cracked jokes on me too. He cracked jokes on me. I cracked jokes
Oh,
on
so
him.
you
I said,
can't-
but
you
he.
can't
I
take
guess
it.
he felt really bad about it. But he never said anything to me. He could have talked to me about it and said, you need to chill with all that. But I was just helping it out. I offered to go to the gym with him. Like, let's work out together. Didn't want to do that or anything. But his answer was to cheat and have sex with other women.
So the question is there something you could have done before you walked away from the situation? And what did you learn from the situation?
Oh, absolutely. Like I said before, I have always been a communicator.
Yeah.
But when I was,
That's one thing I can confirm.
Yeah.
We're both like communicators. We're both like, yo, before we trip out, we let you know kind of thing. Not to put blame on your ex-wife, but I know it's not like something you sat on and was a secret.
My problem was
You discussed it.
when I was younger, my communication, she used to always say, you got a knife for a tongue. Because I would just say stuff without really thinking it through.
Yeah.
Just say what's on my heart.
You must be a
You know?
Sag.
No, he's a Cancer. He's a Cancer.
Oh, y'all
That's okay.
sensitive. Oh, Lord.
Everybody says that.
Nah,
Yeah,
y'all
but-
are sensitive.
I don't think Cancers are sensitive. I think they're petty. I think they're petty. They're petty.
Petty.
Cancer.
Huh?
We're in touch with our
Cancer,
emotions.
they
It's not
nah.
sensitive.
Y'all sensitive. Y'all sensitive.
Y'all strong, but y'all also cover. Y'all use that strength to cover up the fact that shit bothers y'all
Let's not get
too.
into the therapy session.
His sensitivity turns into pettiness.
Yes.
What I'll
Yeah.
explain with that is I could have communicated to her like, I was unhappy, which at one point I did, but I had already done wrong, and so she's not the best at communicating, or she wasn't, the best at communicating with me.
Yeah.
So I was like, we're not gonna see, she was so in love with me. It was really nothing I could tell her to twist her to something different.
Yeah.
But so I said, you know what? You're not hearing what I'm saying.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna show you what I'm saying.
Mm.
And
That's
it's
tough.
wrong.
It's
But-
wrong, but I can understand where you're coming from, Amanda.
No, there was no changing anything. He was set in his ways, and he was who he was, so there was no changing anything at all.
So what did you learn from the situation?
To start talking to people who are glass half full. 'Cause
More
I'm telling you, it was
positive
bad.
perspective.
It was that bad.
Like I said, situation stayed too long. Could I have done anything? The only thing I could have done better is like, yo, I played myself. Like I talked to this girl for 3 years and change, and there was no fruit to that kind of time. So to me, like time is money kind of thing, So it's just like, God forbid, if me and my wife didn't work out, I wouldn't go back into a situation where I'm wasting time. If I feel like we're communicating and things ain't changing, then I'd be like, 2 months, I'm going kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like time is just too precious. So what I learned is like, yo, you can't be wasting time
So
with
in other
people.
words, every little sign would get you going.
Don't
You know
ignore
what?
that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think we ignore that shit because we want a relationship to work.
Yeah.
Now that I'm in my
Discuss it.
30s,
Discuss it.
now that I'm in my 30s, there's no way I'm wasting that kind of time. That was my
understand.
20s. I always felt like things could get better. You can improve
It's,
people.
It's easier said than done because when you're in a situation like I've been with my wife
Yeah,
10,
but-
11 years, but I'm saying though, it's easy to say I'll never waste that time. When you really care about somebody and then you are older and you got a busy schedule, like I ain't gonna lie. If I got a divorce now, it would be really hard for me to go committed to be another woman because I work so much, right?
You find time
And
to
then
do the things you
no,
love.
I know you
Just
find
like
you
find
know
time
you
for the
find the
people.
time things you do, but I don't have the capacity to start over as somebody in my 30s to figure you out to know that you're gonna give me the same kind of drama I'm probably going through now. So that's the difficult part about it. That's why I think relationships extend longer from that. You know what I mean? Because
you learn
it's like
quicker, though, as you get older.
you learn,
You know yourself
you learn,
more.
No, you learn quicker, and your patience become. You learn quicker, and your patience become less. But you still invested to say, you know what? I gotta give it a shot a little bit because you still care about that person. It's not that easy. It's easy to say as we having a conversation, you be like, oh yeah, nah, I ain't gonna do it no more. Like, I always said to myself, what you call it? If I found out my wife was cheating, fuck it, I'm done with her. I got a daughter now. Now I'm like, hold on.
We gotta figure this out.
No,
we gotta figure this
on.
out.
Hold on, maybe we gotta work this out. What did I do to not to push it that way? Because you change. You time at time, and as a person, you change. So it's just who you are as a person.
As long as y'all are speaking on it, though, that's why I say you can continue to try to make it work, or maybe move forward in some kind of way. If y'all are speaking on it, if she understands there's an issue.
Yeah, but it's one of those things
but
where
sometimes not everybody's willing to even accept where they may be lacking in the relationship, or are willing to hear you out.
That's a
where
fact.
you
That's
are
a
not
fact.
happy
No,
in
that's
a
a fact.
relationship.
That's a fact.
And that's like
To take you know, something Clifford said in previous episodes, like we have to take inventory. He called it a report card, but like we have to take inventory
Yeah,
of the
you
shit
have
that
to.
we're doing to contribute to relationships not working, right? Because it's easy. Like even me and my wife had a conversation earlier this morning. It was easy for me to point out things that I didn't like that she was doing, but I had to take inventory of the things that I'm not bringing to the table or I'm ignoring, kind of thing. And I think that's the one thing about my 30s. I'm just like, before I really kind of attack her about something, I'm like, yo, what am I doing to contribute to make her feel a certain way? How am I, part of this problem? Because it's easy to call out the problem,
it's
but
easy
not
to become selfish.
but not take inventory on it.
It's all about consistency.
Consistency. That's the key word of relationships is consistency.
We discussed
Both
that
sides, right? Because we stop being to the person what they fell in love with a lot of times. Whether it be, no, don't say it. Men too. Men switch up. Women switch up.
No, I'm not gonna say
Wait.
just.
Like, who's
No,
that?
you know
We
what? I'm
switch
not
up
gonna
and
say
y'all
just.
switch up.
Hey.
That's it.
Everybody, I think I'm not just gonna say just the women. I think it's both parties. We get too comfortable.
Yeah.
Like even like me, I do date nights and I do communication with my wife to find out. Because during the week I'm working 16 hours and she's got a different schedule. Now we have a daughter. I don't have time to really go through the week. So when I do the date night, I find out exactly what was going on throughout the week, catch up on it.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's just a matter of being having that communication at least one time a week to find out what's going on, because your partner could be going through something really like you're not doing. We might get comfortable too. Like
Surprise her.
he,
Can surprise you.
yeah, that's a fact. But
Giving advice, so I'm gonna give advice too. Be straightforward. Y'all women like to give subs and mysteries.
No, but
and
it's the funny thing.
riddles.
It's the truth.
Nah, be
Just
straightforward.
to co-sign what
Something's
you're just
bothering
saying,
you.
and not to.
Like-
Me and my wife was having a conversation earlier, and she was just like, she admitted like she realized that she doesn't always communicate to me like what's bothering her and why things are different. She just automatically expects me to assume. But I told her, like, if I'm being consistent, like even if the shit I'm doing is wrong, but I'm always doing that shit, if you don't call me out on it, I'm thinking it's acceptable. Right? I'm not assuming I'm being an asshole or fucked up because I'm consistently doing it. And that's why a lot of times we can't accept things from people that's hurting us, right? Because, like, for instance, you saying that, he was letting himself go, you didn't, find himself sexy. We're talking about the ex and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Call him out on it and then, like, hold him to charge. And I feel like, he should have worked on that if you express that to him. But sometimes we feel like, yo, you ain't going nowhere, or you know what I'm saying?
True. Like you said, they don't call you out until
wasn't.
it's really an argument. You know what I mean? Y'all be arguing, you be complaining to her about not cooking you a meal, and she'd be like, "Well, nigga, I ain't come the last 3 times we had sex."
You're like, whoa!
What are you talking about?
It's a fact though, and that's the problem, right? That's because in your mind you wondering like,
you
yo,
know what?
Well, hold on. In your mind you like, yo, we arguing because I didn't wash the dishes, and then you drop a bomb on me like that.
No, but listen, no, you know what? I do that a lot too. Because you know what it is? It's just like simple things. I could, for example, yesterday, right? I did 16-hour shift.
Don't get in trouble.
No, I don't care. No, I don't care if she's watching or not. Whatever. We not even talking right now. So she's watching. Get the message. I did 16 hours yesterday, right? And I'm tired. So she texts me, "Oh, can I go pick up milk and for the baby and all this whatever." Boom. But I'm like, she was off yesterday. In my mind, I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
What
You
are
was
you
off.
doing?
Why you didn't go do? Because that 10 minutes now is gonna put me in traffic to get home, right?
Yeah.
But it's right because she was taking care of the baby all day. She was running around with her boom. Then I got in my car. I realized I'm like, damn, maybe it is me. Because I sometimes don't think about, like, you know, I wasn't considered that she was running around. She entertained our daughter. She made things happen while I was at work. So for me to go pick up the milk, it might have not been a big deal. But it was a big deal to me because I was tired.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I can't just say it's the woman part. Sometimes it's just me.
You should just do it.
Yeah,
But
man, to defend him, he just put 16 hours in.
Still out there.
You know what I'm saying?
How far is the store from your house?
Take the baby for a
No,
walk.
but the route is this now. I gotta go to 7-Eleven, go pick that up, and then I gotta go back on the Like it's just a lot. That 10 minutes could put me in traffic. And then I gotta look for
No, you know how
parking.
you spin it?
I was just
You're
like,
baby, you know, I was looking so forward to getting home.
Oh,
quickly to you and
we
baby.
all
The baby still need milk. The baby still need milk.
That baby all out of whack.
ain't none of that.
Because we're on the time crunch. Before we on the time, because we're on a time crunch, I want us to like run through the last topic, right? And the topic is living in your purpose. I feel like a lot of times, you know, we're in our 30s, we kind of have to take inventory. Like, you know, are we living in our purpose? Are we still pursuing our dreams? What are we doing towards that kind of thing? Because a lot of times we get complacent where we are, and we have to still fight to chase our dreams. So the first question: do you feel that you found your calling, Jackie?
Yeah, if I'm hearing it a lot, you know, and a lot of people say, well, you're talented at doing this and that, but I've never took the initiative to do it because I doubt myself. I'm my biggest doubter, you know. I'm afraid that, what if I'm not really good at it, or what if people don't appreciate it and stuff like that, and that's how I feel at my job too as well, you know. But it's all about you. Like, now that I hear it more and people are seeing it, you know, and I'm expressing it more, it makes me feel like, okay, well, this is what I should be doing.
Yeah.
Maybe I should be doing this, you know? And then it's all about age, too. You're like, damn, I'm getting older, and if I don't start now, when am I?
Yeah.
Am I going to let this talent just go to waste?
Yeah.
You know? So I'm trying.
What's
I'm
that
trying
talent?
more.
What's the talent?
What's the talent? I have a lot of talents, really. I'm very creative, you know. I do a lot of artwork and stuff like that. I also can act, a little something, but I'm more talented in, like, creating things in fashion and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I've been doing it since I was little.
Yeah.
And people were like, oh, where you buy that from? I'm like, I made it.
Do you
Yeah.
work in fashion?
Huh? I'm starting to.
Yeah.
Before I was just afraid.
Before you came in,
of
she
it,
let us know
you know.
she's a pre-K teacher.
Yeah, and I kind of like fell back a little bit and stuff, but also writing as well.
Yeah.
I've heard since I was 12 and 13, well, maybe you should write a book. You're really good. Even from my teachers, like, you're a really
I feel like we
great writer.
have to just do it. I feel too many times we wait for things to be perfect.
Yeah.
And that's one of my biggest qualms. Like, I wait for things to be perfect. I wait things to be ideal. You have to fail. You got to push shit out there. You got to fail and bounce back from it.
Also, if you're
You know?
doing something else, like work and job, you just feel comfortable in your position that you are in right now, to the point that you're not even thinking about, you know, what you're talented at. You're not even thinking about taking that step because you're so comfortable doing what you're doing at that moment.
Yeah.
But then you got to think about it like, damn, I'm getting older. I need to try.
Yeah. What about you, man? So, because we got short time, do you feel like you found your calling?
Yes, I do. I just have to put it into action.
Okay. What about you, Cliff? Do you feel like you found your calling?
Nah, I definitely like, you know what it is. I'm the type of person every year I try to build myself. I didn't find it yet, but you know, I definitely want to get to some things. But I talk to myself and make the mental notes that, you know, to try to achieve certain goals. I didn't find my calling yet.
Yeah.
You know?
Go ahead.
I was gonna say no, but my reason is different. My reason is because, and I know it's gonna sound cocky or crazy, but I'm good at a lot. I'm good at so many things.
Yeah.
I'm good at so many things.
No, just say
Yeah, break it down. What are those things you're good at?
I'm good at writing. I'm good at making people laugh.
Okay.
I'm good at nurturing. Like I
That's the cancer.
Okay.
that's, you know what I'm saying. I'm good at well, one of the things I loved photography. I always wanted to get into that and did it. You know, which kind of, so that's why I would say no. But that's the thing. All of these things that I do, I like to do them and I'm good at them, but I haven't found the passion.
Yeah.
So that makes it hard.
To co-sign, I feel like
I'm
I'm a jack of trades, master of none.
Yeah.
Like I've written a
Jack of all
book.
trades, master.
You know,
I'm
I'm able
writing
to do
one.
the radio type, you know, podcasting kind of thing. I'm good in finances and this and the other.
But you have a passion for this.
But I have a passion for it. I have a passion to talking to people and trying to, like, let's figure this out together. Let's have these conversations that people need to hear. I always feel like the number one reason why I love doing the podcasting thing, because I want to have adult conversation. Because I feel like after a certain while,
Yeah, Ayana.
I don't know if I want to be Ayana. No, but I just feel like, you know, these conversations are helpful to people because I get, you know what keeps me going? I get every week, one way or the other, I get an inbox or message for someone saying like, yo, I was just thinking about that with my friends, and I'm glad to hear that other people are going through that. Other people are thinking that way. Because I feel like so much times we consume so much content, but it's just, you know, funny, stupid shit, but a lot of shit it's not food for your soul kind of thing. And I feel like we need more of those kind of things. And not only religion, but in ways where you feel comfortable to have these conversations, right? So the last question on this topic is, what season do you feel like in your life? And also, if you have a partner, do you feel like your partner is supportive in this mode or not?
I'm already starting first. So
Yeah.
I'm in winter. I'm in, like, what is it? What's the show you love?
Game of Thrones?
Yes.
Winter is coming.
It's the cold winter. Yeah. I'm in winter. Winter seems to be the longest season we have.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'm in the winter season. And
Do you have a partner, or do you have someone who's supportive in the season that you're in?
You know what? All the people that's in my life, they always seem to be supportive of anything that I do. Like once I say this is what I want to do, or this is what I'm really feeling right now, I got a lot of supportive people, family, friends, or whatever. So that's good. I never have to worry about support.
If I could answer that, I'm in late winter, early spring, where it's just like I'm coming through a troubled time. Spring is the season of new beginning, right?
Yeah.
Flowers blossom. You know, it starts off cold, it ends up warm, and I feel like my partner is supportive, but I feel like I had to do a better job of letting her know how I need the support. Because sometimes people feel like you got shit in order, so they just leave you be, but sometimes you need certain encouragement.
Mm-hmm.
So now that you had two answers, now you get the answer.
I'm in spring.
Okay.
I feel like right now my life is just blooming.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything I'm doing right now, the support system I have, you know, it's just blooming. I have more support than I had back then, you know.
Yeah.
So
And it makes a difference.
Yeah, and I have that inspiration and motivation, and when someone keeps talking to you in your ear and telling you you can do this or whatever, I feel like, yeah, I can do it. So I'm at that blooming state where everything is coming together.
Yeah.
You know, and it's still growing. I'm still growing from it. I'm learning and growing at the same time.
So that's a
I'm
beautiful
excited.
season, yeah. What about you, Amanda?
Exactly what she said. Spring. I have a
Spring?
lot of family
And,
support.
and do you have someone supporting you, like a boo or potential boo or something like that?
You don't be shy now, greedy gut.
I have family, like I said, supporting me. He didn't even answer the question either.
Right.
Like,
He said I have a support.
He did
No,
not.
he did not.
He said I have people in my life supporting me.
Played it safe.
Wasn't he vague?
And you have support.
Exactly.
Yeah. He played it real safe. He did
What about you, Cliff? We're both married, so we. What about you? Do you feel,
You don't want to accept. You don't want
what season do you feel are you in, and do you feel
you
like
gotta play it safe.
you know the support you have is helping you?
Talking about you, baby. You ain't
I feel like I'm more like in a winter feel because you know like right now my lifestyle is just trying to grind and figure things out, and then when certain transitions happening to me in my lifestyle, then I'll be more in like a spring or summer thing. But right now I'm just in winter time. Even in the summertime, I just want to get focused. So I just want to be cold, but in a good way. So and support wise, I mean, the support is there. I think it could be better at some time with communication factor, but you know.
Milk, you get the support.
Yeah.
No, it's not just about the milk. It's just sometimes I think when you're married, you could be selfish at some time, and the person you with could be selfish and not see it until you tell them. And then when you express that feeling, then you still feel like they're doing the same thing. It's a lot. You know, marriage is not easy, but it's one of the things where I'm thankful because, you know, I'm in it.
But that is the end of our show. You see, the time flies by. One thing I want to say though is that no one said that they're in the summer, like the popping season of their life, which means we got to keep grinding for it, right? You got to keep moving forward to that. And I wish summer on everybody on this panel. I wish that you keep pushing to those dreams and stuff like that. So before we close out, we're gonna have Jackie, close out and let us know like how people can reach you out if they want to reach out to you or.
Well, y'all can all reach me at I am_Jacqueline. That's my Instagram. Also, I'm on Facebook as well, Jacqueline Ray. You can look me up. I pop up at the top. Also, watch out for me. I'm about to shoot a movie in January with some big name celebrities. So watch out for that. I can't tell you much about it, but that I am doing.
As it comes closer, and we see it.
Might be on BET.
Okay.
So watch out for that.
That's big things.
That's
Big things.
Also, I'm still doing a lot. If you need, someone to shoot or whatever, I model as well.
Yeah.
So I'm looking for photographers out there.
Okay.
As well.
My passion photography. I gotta get a camera first.
Yeah. All right. So do y'all his passion is photography, but he don't got a camera. You sound like a sleazeball who just want to play with no basketball. All right. So everybody give their close outs before we can head out. Any shout outs before we head out?
No, just shout out to all of y'all.
Shout out to my family, my friends. You ain't asked me if I wanted to shout out.
Well, no, but that was funny. That was funny. Your moment. That was funny. Your
Shout out
moment.
to Robin, my sister. She's a former MC.
Okay.
Shout out to Rob T. Shout out to my little boy Giovanni and everybody.
Okay.
Everybody that shows me love and support. Shout out to you.
She has a lot of fans. Like she puts out a picture, and 900 people come out of the woods and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Listen, all the ladies,
and wait, one more thing.
now.
Happy birthday to Marisha. We celebrated her birthday yesterday, so happy birthday to her.
Okay,
Happy
cool.
birthday, Marisha. It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, right?
Nice.
Or is it cancer awareness?
No, breast cancer.
Right?
Yeah.
So much respect to all the ladies.
Or the survivors and people going through
make
treatment.
Sure y'all are continuing to check and take care of yourselves, and y'all can beat that fight as long as you catch it early.
Stay positive. That's what's up.
positive. Much love to all my ladies and my women out there. Not my.
Yeah, you said a little Yeah. What about you, Amanda? What about you, Amanda?
Somebody at home like,
Do a shout out.
I don't have any shout outs.
Okay, what about you?
I just want to shout out my family and friends. It's very important to stay in contact with your family and friends and, see what's going on. Like we was talking about mental illness, which is very important. So just, if you could talk to somebody, even if it's 2 minutes a day, just check up on somebody that needs help. That's all. And also, we got our 50th episode next week, so tune in.
Yeah.
I might not be here for it.
Yeah.
Libra season, my birthday is coming.
We'll map out the 50th. So I want to say, shout out to Jacqueline Ray for being a guest. Go out to support her. Her pictures are popping, so photographers come right. You know what I mean? If you need a beautiful muse, come shout out Booker and stuff like that. You know,
With cameras.
with cameras, not cell phones, not cell phones.
Not cell phone.
Shout out to Amanda Marie candles. Them shits is popping. My bathroom was smelling crazy till I lit the candles. Her candles have my bathroom smelling popping. My wife is just like, ask her, does she make bigger candles?
Oh, she wants a bigger candle.
Yeah.
Okay, I do not, but I will definitely look.
She said you need to look into that because the candles are, she loved the candles. Like, she's like, your bathroom stinks, and she lit up the candles. Even after
that's
we
good to know.
even after we blew out the candles, it lingered for a while.
Perfect. That's exactly what I like to hear.
Please support Black-owned business.
Exactly.
That's a fact.
And me being an author, where the sun doesn't shine, you can find my book on Amazon. Go out there, support. Like, I don't promote my book like I should, and I still get every month like 1 or 2 sales, which to me is amazing because I'm not like a known author, but people are still going out to buy it. So I appreciate that. So go out there and support. And like I said, you know, like I always tell you people, go out there, you know, happy breast cancer awareness. Shout out to all the survivors. Stay strong. We believe in you. Keep the fight, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, don't lose faith. But like I always tell everybody, go out there and chase your legacy because liabilities don't last long, but your legacy forever. Stay beautiful, Black people. We out. Peace.
Take a quick pic.
I can't believe you took shots at me like that. Like, damn.
No. I'm letting it be known.
I can get a camera. That ain't nothing. Like.
Nah, you said you did a
ain't
lot
got
of
no
hiding
cameras,
right now.
Right now,
How you gonna say my passion is photography?